Hi folks, right, update on the pond, nitrification cycle almost 99% complete. I've now got my nitrite levels so low that I can only just read them on the test tubies, which is good. Nitrate levels are going up. Again, I'm not over consuming them at the moment, just keep an eye on them. I'm getting lots of algae growth in the pond, which again is not a major problem. I can try to cure that. However, you see a microscope in front of me. Saw some fish flashing around a couple of days ago, and what I found is that the fish have a parasite potentially. So I've just had to give one of the fish a scrape, and I've basically got the results here. So I'm going to have a quick look now. Just did a couple of scrapes off one fish and off another. So basically put them into the bit large tub in the pond. Got a piece of plastic, which I can't seem to find at the moment. Here we go. A little bit of plastic, and scraped from front to back of the fish. So you basically just guide the fish into your hand, and then you scrape the from front or from the nose to the tail. Just a very don't go brutal with it. Just a slight scrape with it, and then you get what they call the mucus on it. Then the mucus you can put onto the slide, and I'm just about to have a look to see what the results are and see how we go on with the results. So 2 seconds, I'll have a look. So yeah, basically you put these under your, I think I got this off Amazon. It was about sort of 50 or 60 pounds. Invaluable piece of kit. Fantastic. You can just watch so many things and get on with it yourself. More self-sufficient. They've got little lights on the bottom as well. You can kind of turn it on and off. So yeah, I'm just having a quick look at one. At the first sample I took. You basically start with the smallest, and then you rotate onto the next largest when you find something, and you're able to zoom in. So I think I found what I was expecting on that one. And then just put the second one in, just to confirm what I was thinking. I should really have marked which fish it came from. Well, this was pretty good actually, this one. Right, so there you can see, on the microscope, Trichodina. Try to get a bit more. Some are spinning, some are not. That's the view I can see. Okay, and that's another view as I'm looking at it through my microscope. So you can see this single fish is riddled with them. A lot of them aren't moving. So unfortunately it looks like we're going to have to try to eradicate these, because there'll be others in the pond as well. I've seen all the fish thrashing around a little bit, which is not good. So and also what they call flashing, where they swim to the bottom and then flash the sides against a surface. Because these things basically tickle and irritate the fish. Okay, there's another zoomed in. I've got even more, so you can have a really good look at these horrible things. A lot of them is not spinning now because I think a lot of them have just died. I kind of spent some time setting up things and setting up cameras and whatever. But anyway, that's what they look like. A little bit more zoomed in for you. So what am I going to do about it? Well, I'm going to pop over to see my supplier, Penkoi, in Longton, or Normancote should I say, Stoke-on-Trent. I'm going to pop in to see him and pick up potentially some PP, they call it PP, Potassium Permanganate. And I'll have to do that. I'll have to give the pond a dose of that to eradicate out, because if one fish has got it, they'll all have it. I have done 2 slides. In fact, I did a 3rd fish the other day, and there was some on that as well. But this one fish has just been going kind of nuts, been clamped out. They call it clamping on the bottom, where the fins come into the side and they just basically sit on the bottom, don't move, only to feed. He or she only comes up to feed. As soon as you feed, they're all right. Then they clamp back on the bottom again. So they call it clamping. So that's another sign that something's wrong as well. So I've been keeping an eye on what is happening with clamping. So I'm going to pop over to my supplier, like I say, at Penkoi, and grab some PP. Get a bit of advice off Steve as well, because he's always really good for advice. and go from there. So looks like we might be adding some PP to the pond, which is not good, but it's such is life. So we'll go through that when it happens. Okay, ta-da. Okay, here we are, Penckley. There's the dog. He's got a really big dog. Lovely. Hello. Who's here? Are you? Yes, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I did mine the other day, and it said my nitrite was trace. Nitrate was coming up. So I'm hoping you're seeing what I'm seeing.
I don't test for nitrate.
Oh, don't you?
It's not a killer.
No, yeah, I just did it to make sure it was. Well, it was still happening because my blanket weed's still happening. So.
How much is the little tube?
The little tube's £9.60.
So you said £19.60, you owe me then.
Right, so what we're testing for here then?
pH,
Is that one?
nitrite and ammonia. pH is on top level.
Right, so which is which then? So this?
That's pH.
pH.
This is nitrite.
Another one, nitrite.
Ammonia.
Ammonia, right.
pH is on top.
So you have to give these a little bit of time, don't you, sometimes?
Up to 5 minutes. 10 minutes in the winter.
Is it
It's cold.
Is it the pH that you get immediate from?
Immediate. That's an immediate reading.
Right. So this one here
It's immediate.
is
That's your
immediate.
final.
Bit of a shake, and then you walk around hugging them, don't you, for a while then?
Yeah. Just brings temperature.
Okay.
10 grams.
10 grams. So this is for the potassium permanganate now, isn't it?
Yeah, for your trichodina.
For the trichodina, which is this stuff here. Used it in the past, so I kind of know what I'm doing with this now. Filters off. You do it for 4 hours. And I'll show you that when we do it anyway. So Steve's just going to measure that out now. Right, here we go.
Nitrite
Results.
reading. Slight nitrite reading.
Yep.
Water changes, your ammonia is perfect.
Excellent news. So this is the nitrite. Oh, that's the nitrite.
Nitrite.
So what colour should this one? This nitrite be, Steve? What
Clear.
colour should? Right, oh, that should be clear, right? So you're seeing a bit more than I was seeing then. And then ammonia is good.
Yeah.
So this is ammonia, which is good. So I've still got a little bit to go on that then. And also, it's going to this potassium permanganate. This is going to knock them back again, and knock the filters back into it.
Slightly.
So is it worth putting any more of that beneficial bacteria in after I've done the PP?
I'd wait and see what happens.
Okay.
Do your treatment.
Yep.
And then we'll do some water samples after to see if it's not. If it's not, we'll add some pearls.
Right. Okay. Right. Which are these?
You've either got your absolute ones
Yep.
from Cloverleaf, or you've got your Aquasource ones from Aquasure.
And they're basically putting beneficial bacteria into your pond, aren't they? Which is the good bacteria that you need to be able to keep those levels down. Right, cool, okay.
Okay, then.
Super.
That's what you want, mate.
Right, so that's the
1.5 grams to 220 gallon.
great, okay.
Just work it out, and then you know what you want.
Super, that is right. I'll need a pack of that
16
then.
quid.
All right. All right, Steve, top man. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, mate.
I will see you all later.
See you later.
Right, folks, just got back from me supplier. Picked up some PP. Next job now is to get it in. You've got to be very accurate with the measurements because of the literage in my pond. We've gone for 11 grams. Again, it'll be different for your pond, so don't go off what I'm doing on mine. So at the moment, I'll get that prep now, and we'll get it in the pond, and then see how it goes from there. I'll show how it works. So let's go get it mixed. Okay, so we've got it in the big container. That's my measured dose. Goes a lovely purple colour. And then on top of that, I've partly boiled kettle. And apparently this gets the crystals melted a bit quicker and dissolved into the water. And then I'll give that a minute or two. Just give it a swish around. Just for anybody that's not aware of PP or potassium permanganate, it's basically it's like a disinfectant. It's the colour itself will stain anything it gets onto. If you get it on your skin into a cut, if you've got little nicks on the end of your finger, it's quite if you get it onto skin, it doesn't come off very easy, it stains skin. So like I say, I'll just put some partially boiled water on there just to help it dissolve the crystals. It's a lovely purple colour at the moment. Now when it's purple, you'll probably hear me say this again later on, when it's purple it's working and it's doing its job. When it's brown, it's done, it's spent. They call it spent apparently. So at the moment that's how it looks. So we're going to get a bucket of water in from the pond. Okay, so a bucket of water's just gone in out of the pond. It's a bit cooler now, obviously I'll put some cool water in it. So the next job is to stick in an air stone and turn it up, and that basically will just help it to mix a little bit more. It'll also put a lot of oxygen into the water. The idea is to oxygenate your pond as much as possible. Put as much oxygen as you can in there, because this stuff strips oxygen out, especially with the weather we're having at the moment. It's been nice and sunny out, so at the moment you want to get as much oxygen there as possible. So just enough time to make a coffee, just while this stuff was burbling away quite nice. It's all mixed up now, so it's got to go into the pond. So what I usually do, all my air is on. Literally I've got 2 air in there, I've got 1 in the filter system, and I've also had 1 burbling away in here, so this is now mixed. I'm basically pouring this into the outlet, so where the outlet water goes back into the pond, so that'll swish it around, it'll go up, around the pond and back. Also because I've got the aquarium at the other end upside down, I'll be able to see what colour this stuff is as it's working. Got to keep an eye on your fish though, this stuff strips your pond of oxygen, so you have to be very aware that, you know, these fish in here, they could totally be depleted of oxygen, so if anything happens, like, you've got to act real quick. Either dump it, put hydrogen peroxide in, that neutralises it. So at the moment I'm just going to slowly feed this in. Just put some down the other end. So you see the colour of the water at the moment, bright purple. Okay, that's when it's working. This stuff's working when it's that colour. Just get some mixed out what's left in the container. Now what I usually do then is stay with the pond. Stay with the pond, because I've got to keep an eye on the fish. Fish start struggling because of the oxygen. I've got to act real quick. Either by dumping a lot of water, spraying in some water, get it changed, walk quick. Hydrogen peroxide is usually the best idea though. Usually have a tub of that sit into one side. Anything happens with that, neutralises this. So it's the other way around. If you put too much hydrogen peroxide in, this neutralises that, so it works both ways. But, so I'll sit with this pond now, keep an eye on the fish for around about 4 hours. It should work. Sometimes it's more, sometimes less, but I usually go on 4 hours. After 4 hours, get it neutralised, and it's usually quick by then. So kept my filter system on. I should probably put my net in there as well, because you don't know if you've got any trichodina on the net. The bucket that I use for the pond, that's had stuff in anyway, so that's had a lot of stuff in. I might just chuck it in anyway. So yeah, things that you use inside the pond, you've got to really get them in, and you might as well be working with this stuff while it's in as well. So let's come back after an hour and we'll see what's... Okay, it's been just over an hour. PP's been in. I think it's gone brown already. That's interesting. If you can see in the background, in the aquarium top, we have brown already in there. I know it's happened before on me, this one, and I spoke to Steve about it, and he said it was going to be fine. So, as you can see, in the aquarium is now brown. It is no longer purple, and it's been literally about an hour and a half. Yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. So I've got to do this again in the next 5 days, because apparently this stuff lays eggs. Trichodina lays eggs, and you want to try to catch the eggs as well afterwards. So because this has only been working for sort of an hour and a half, Steve tells me it's my supplier Steve, he said it should be fine at that, so we'll go with that, and then I'll do this again in 5 days time, and then another one in 5 days, and then that'll be that complete. And then we'll do some water tests, and then we'll do some more scrapes on the fish. So I'll probably do another scrape on the fish in the next couple of days, just to see how effective that was, and go from there. So anyway, that's potassium permanganate. So main things on this: got to turn your UV off. You've got to make sure that you've got enough oxygen going into your pond. You've got to keep an eye on your fish as well, because if they start struggling, you've got to be there immediately and sort it. For example, using your hydrogen peroxide, or banging loads of air and changing water real quick. So anyway, we'll see what happens in the next 5 days. We'll do that next lot.